Hi, my name's Abby, this is my dad, and this is my sister Rebecca. On today's episode of Cooking with Abby, we're going to be making cheesecake.
Yes, the classic New York, thick, dense, yummy cheesecake. We have opted for a cherry topping on ours. So good. So many options for toppings. We were talking this morning that a raspberry topping would be really good. Blueberry. Oh, actually, no. We were talking about blueberry this morning, not raspberry. I'm all kerfuffled here. Fantastic. Not your cheapest dessert, people. Like, there's a lot of money in there. We were just trying to kind of do the total. Even homemade, this is probably in the $30 range. So, super dense though. We opted for a wider spring pan. Spring pan's probably the only complicated thing in this. A stand mixer is a plus. But other than that, it's just time. So good. So good. You can tell there's a piece missing. We'll get to that at the end. Abby, where can people find today's ingredients?
Here or at cookingwithabby.com.
Awesome. Shall we get started, ladies?
Yep.
First thing we're going to do is prep our pie crust. Abby, go ahead, put those two in. So we are doing it a little differently at this point. Typically you would do this with graham cracker. We're going to do it with
Lotus cookies.
Lotus cookies. Biscotti. Not biscotti. What are they called? Biscoff? Biscoff cookies.
Or you can call them
This makes a lot of noise.
biscuits.
Well, you're just kind of loud.
Biscuits.
The other thing I would have done is absolutely put the graham cracker in first and the sugar on top of it, but that's okay. Because we're not using graham cracker, we didn't add very much sugar, because guess what, folks? Those cookies, pretty sweet already. Rebecca is pouring in our butter, which we didn't forget in the microwave, which we normally do. And then we're just gonna, Abby was worried that it was gonna fall out of the bottom of our springform pan. Don't worry about it.
That's why we put a well in the middle.
Put a well in the middle. Turns pretty soupy pretty quickly. We are just mixing this up so that the butter, the cookie, and the sugar are all beautifully incorporated. As I look at this, I'm thinking, you know what would have been good? Probably a little more cookie, because we went with the 10-inch pan instead of the 9-inch pan. But it's cheesecake, not cookie cake. I just thought that, you know what would be really yummy is if you take this, once the cheesecake is made, and as a topping, we figure out how to do some like lotus topping. That would be yummy.
Oh yeah.
All right, folks, this is live baking. Because we went with a 10-inch pan, I'm feeling as though this is not big enough. So what we're gonna do here, I think we've got enough moisture from our butter. What we're gonna do is we're gonna add a couple more lotus cookies into this, and that way we're gonna be sure to have a nice crust, because I don't want a thin crust, people. Nobody wants a thin crust. All right, we'll be right back. We've added another 500 grams of lotus cookies, which in our case is about 6 cookies. I think part of the problem is that the recipe calls for the graham crackers, and I think the graham crackers ultimately are a little bigger. And so when we substituted this for the lotus cookies, we should have added a few more, but that's all good. So Abby, as you see, has mixed in the new with the old. What you want to make sure, so you got some chunks here of the buttery ones, just break those down a little bit. Then you spread it around quickly and evenly.
Why quickly?
Because you take forever to do everything. So whenever I have an opportunity to ask you to go quicker, I take it. No, but you move it around, generally speaking, and then as you were doing before, Abby, how about you start pressing that down flat? Then we're gonna put this in the oven. You know for how long? All we're doing with this is just making our crust. Our cheesecake is gonna be in there for a total of 50 minutes. This is only gonna be in the oven for 5 minutes just to form up a bit of the crust. And then we'll finish up this, we'll get this in the oven, and then we'll come back and we'll make the cheesecake part. The cheesecake part. While our crust is in the oven, we are going to prepare the cheesecake filling, and guess what, people? It's a whole heck of a lot of cheesecake, to the point where I think I'm going to help you put that in here. First things first, we're going to take our 4 bricks of cream cheese, put them in here. Abs, you grab that sugar. We're gonna cream it together with sugar, because, you know, sugar's awesome. In that goes Rebecca. You are our official egg cracker. We're gonna crack the eggs in 3 separate bowls here so that we can add them one at a time when we're ready. We're gonna put this on medium speed and mix it for a couple of minutes. So it's important to scrape down both your sides and mostly your paddle, right, as you're doing this, because you want to make sure that sugar's getting all in there. How's that egg cracking business going over there? Oh, look at all that salmonella. Broke it badly? You're getting there. You're way better than you used to be. And people, don't get cream cheese all over your mixer. Okay, keep going. All right, that is nicely mixed. We're gonna scrape down the sides. Yeah, you lower the bowl for me here. Something that I know I mentioned at the top, but room temperature, people. Make sure your cream cheese is room temperature, your eggs are room temperature, everything's at room temperature. Why? Cheesecake's a finicky thing. We'll get to that in a minute. Abs, how about you get some sour cream in there? I am gonna take over. I'm gonna put in a little bit of lemon juice, vanilla juice.
No.
Look at all those eggs. Well done, my fair lady.
This one's the best.
That's the best one. You broke the yolks on the other. That's okay.
They're gonna be broken in.
This
Exactly.
got messy.
That did get rather messy, didn't it? We're gonna mix this until everything is fully incorporated, and then we're gonna add our eggs one at a time. See you in a minute. You forgot to raise the bowl there.
Oh, whoops. That would have
What
been
would
a mistake.
It would go everywhere. We went through some debate there as to who was going to dump this in. The only reason I'm going to do it is because, it's heavy, because I don't know if you remember. There's 1,200 packs of, well, what are you doing, dude? 1,200 things of cream cheese in here.
Cream cheese.
We got some new spatulas and we're super stoked about that. Or maybe that's just me.
I'm really excited.
So
It's
ladies,
so
what's
cool.
the thing of water for on the table?
I don't know. That's what I've been asking
No
you.
one knows. Listen, people.
You got some cream cheese under there?
Ah!
Don't lose any.
No cream cheese will be lost. There is an obsession with the world of cheesecakes, that your cheesecake can't be cracked. Much like many things in life,
What if it is?
nothing still tastes really good. And in our case, we're gonna top this with some canned, I was gonna say strawberries, cherries.
Cherries.
Those cherries are yummy.
Fake
And
cherries?
well, you know, cherries. They're soaked in sugar and all kinds of, they're pretty much fake, but they're really good, they're really sweet, they're really yummy.
Are they the
But
ones that go in
people-
a drink?
In the drink? No, they're not maraschino cherries. They're
Alright.
pie filling cherry, which is really yummy. But, so why the water bath? The water bath helps keep your oven a little damper, a little more humid, and as a result, there's a less chance of your cheesecake cracking. I don't really care. I'm going to do it because it's what you should do. Again, I don't care. Cheesecake tastes the same. If you're super worried about it, you go. There's other people who are convinced that you need to start it off with a cold oven and warm it up. We will let it cool in the oven, so we're gonna bake this for an hour, which is a really long time. And then what we're gonna do also is about halfway through, we're gonna make sure it's not browning too much on the top, because that is kind of gross. It forms a skin. No one likes that.
Not like lemon meringue.
Not like lemon meringue, which we should make lemon meringue.
Yeah.
There we go.
No.
No?
She doesn't like cheese.
Oh, that's right. You don't even like cheesecake. Is that why you were like, I don't necessarily want to make this episode?
Yes, but no.
Ha! The
That
truth
bump's
is revealed, 'cause
bothering me.
That bump is bothering you. Rebecca always loves making these. So, as I say, 1 hour in the oven. about 40 minutes apart, 30-minute apart. Make sure your top's not getting too brown. If it is, go ahead. Put a aluminum thing on top of that. We're gonna put the bath of water underneath. Some people like in the tray with the water. Don't complicate yourselves, people. You don't need to. What we will do then, though, turn off the oven, and we're gonna let it cool in the oven until the oven comes to like room temperature. Then we'll take it out of our pan, put some cherries on top,
And serve it to the neighbors.
and then eat it. Neighbors, you make it so. See you in 1 hour. We may have had a time warp, we may not. I don't think there was. We should have done a time warp because we said see you in an hour, and we're seeing you in what, like 12 hours? So here's the deal, people. Cheesecake, you know, don't worry about the cracking, but you do want it cold. So yesterday, once we turned off the camera, we had a great debate. We had a board meeting. Cooking with Abbey team sat down and pulled out the whiteboard, and we said, you know what? We're going to record the rest of this tomorrow because so an hour of baking. Then we let the cheesecake cool down in the oven, which gives it a little more time to contract and to heat up and less cracking. We don't care about cracking, but less cracking. And then we said, you know what, we're gonna put it in the fridge overnight. We're gonna let it cool. We put some cling wrap on it, as you see here, which is what we did. And now we are ready for the final part. I did this yesterday when it was still fresh out of the oven. You wanna come around with a knife or a spatula or something just to go around the springform pan. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I've said it once, I'll say it again. Cheesecake's episode is cursed. For some reason our camera stopped recording. Best part of the cheesecake stuck right here to the pan. Some of it transferred over here. Nope! We're faced with a choice now. Do I eat more cheesecake or not? Kidding. Some people feel the need to take it off the springform pan. I don't. You know why? Potential for disaster. We don't need to open ourselves up to that. Boom, put it on a pretty plate. Looks great. Abbey, would you do us the honors? Now, we are choosing to use cherry pie filling because
Right
it's
in the
traditional. Yeah, in the middle, but start with maybe like half of that. Here you go.
I don't know what half.
Well, you don't know what half is.
That.
A bit more than that.
Like that.
And now spread it around a little bit. All kinds of options for your toppings, right?
Blueberry.
Blueberry coulis, which we talked about this morning, would be amazing. Yeah, you've got tons of room. Go for it. Pile on more. In fact, just pile it all on. Is this the healthiest option? I developed a lisp overnight. No, it's definitely not the healthiest option. But no, I wouldn't bother with that stuff. That's just sugar. But
Sugar's good.
we saw how many packs of cream cheese go in this, people. If you're looking for healthy, don't have cheesecake. If you're looking for a gooey, good, awesome treat, make yourself some traditional cheesecake. Abbey's gonna finish futzing around with this and evening out her layer, and then we're gonna come right back and we're gonna do the bestest part of cooking with Abbey always.
Eating.
And in this, I cannot wait. Take two. Why take two? Because cheesecake is cursed, people.
Yes.
We don't know why, but for whatever reason, the universe at large doesn't want us making a cheesecake episode.
Always this video.
It's always this video. We have audio issues the whole time. As you can see, we've already dived into this. We've already had a piece of the cheesecake. It's amazing, but the audio didn't work. So guess what? We get to have more cheesecake, which, you know
Yay.
what? Awesome. And as I said the first time around, which nobody could hear, the first slice always sucks because it gets a little weird. Now I'm cutting a smaller piece than last time, guys, because, you know, we have to eat it on camera or else people will think we're trying to poison them. Oh, you know what? I think I said the second piece sucks too, and it sure does. You'll notice we have how many forks?
4.
4 forks. Now, Rebecca, not a huge fan of the old cheesecake. You don't have to have a second piece if you don't want to. I am going to have a second mouthful. Hey,
Clean off the knife.
hun, why don't you come have some cheesecake?
Mama.
Mmm.
Mommy.
Again,
Clean off.
it's amazing. It's the richest thing in the world. It's so good. Oh, it's so good that the girl that doesn't even like cheese is going in for a second bite. Not the cheapest, as we said. Super expensive, actually, really, by the time you count 4 packs of cream cheese, which hopefully you can find on sale, or maybe wait and make it when it's on sale.
Very good.
Good job, people.
The crust is a little thin. Oh, you're just pandering. You're just repeating yourself. So kidding. The crust is a little thin. I'm super glad we added the extra cookie. I would probably add almost double because I personally love that layer. The other thing is we use the 10-inch spring fan, as I mentioned, because we wanted more, less high, because quite frankly, when it's super thick, I'm not a big fan. But yeah, there you go, people. Decadent, lovely cheesecake. You know, something's gonna happen and all this footage is gonna get deleted accidentally because this episode is just not meant to be, people. I don't know why I keep trying so hard.
Don't
say that.
jinx it.
Don't jinx it. It's already jinxed like 7 times. Anyways, thank you for watching. If people like this, what can they do, Rebecca? They can share it. No, you're not the subscribe one. She's the subscribe. You're the share one. Share the video. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Don't forget Instagram. Don't forget Facebook. Comment below. Let us know what you want us to make next. Just give us some feedback, people. We love hearing from you. We want to hear from you.
And tell it to your friends.
Tell your friends. See you next week, everybody. Bye-bye. Shall we do it again?
Okay, don't delete the footage. I want to have those.
You want
It's
this?
very dense.